Hi, my name is Akhila and I recently attended the progressive Surya Namaskar practice here in Delhi, and it was 2 classes spread over 4 weeks, and I had a great experience. So I just wanted to share about how my experience was during these sessions. So one, I think when every time I would come to the class, I would think that I'm feeling pretty calm, but when I would go back home after the session, I would feel a very perceptible shift in how I felt, and I would feel that I would just feel a lot more calmer and more settled, and I would go back with the feeling that I should keep the state of mind for a longer period of time during the course of my day, because it was a good feeling and I wanted to stress that feeling as much as possible throughout the day. So I think that I would say was the most defining experience for me as a part of this Surya Namaskar practice. And two, I think a lot of it was left to me, as in I would attend the classes over the weekend, but the responsibility of doing it at home was on me. So I wasn't leaving out the ownership of practice to the class. Rather, I knew that I had to be the grown-up and be responsible for my own practice during the week, and take that on and use the class as only a coaching mechanism and not as somebody who owned the entire responsibility of my practice. So that, I would say, is my experience in terms of this Surya Namaskar practice that I did. And in terms of how different this practice was when I compare it to other yoga classes that I've gone to. One, I think here the focus was less mechanical and more mindful. So earlier when I would go for these practice sessions, I would be focused on doing the asanas, can I do more repetitions, and in a way you would compare yourself to other people in the practice and say, okay, they've done a lot more, I've done fewer, and you get into some kind of competition even if you don't intend to. And here I think I was just more mindful of how I was doing it. So am I breathing right, am I thinking about the right impact of what this practice is doing to me. So the entire focus was entirely internal for me, and it was not mechanical, and it was very mindful. So I was very focused on what I was doing, how I was doing, and how different it felt from the previous time, and what can I do about the next time. So much so that the suggestion was that if you feel comfortable doing 6, do 5, right? So the idea was not to push yourself to do more and more and get into some kind of competitive to a competition with somebody else. So I think that to me was very different. And the second was that we would start with a chanting practice in the beginning, and then we would end with a sort of a extended yoga nidra sort of a thing. So I think starting the whole practice with a good amount of 5-10 minutes of chanting made a significant difference in terms of how immersive the practice is when you start doing it, rather than just doing a couple of warm-ups and just jumping into the practice, right? I mean, something shifted because I did that chanting, and then I was able to just get into the practice better. And the yoga nidra that I would do at the end was just a great way to end it. So this whole thing was very it just felt deeper and more immersive than what I've done anywhere else. So I would say that these are the two differences in terms of how the practice was. Thank you.